Beyond Representation, the Revolution of Black Excellence in White Spaces. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for what promises to be a transformative conversation. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Margretha Pinkney, a visionary leader whose work has fundamentally reshaped how we understand Black excellence in professional spaces. Margretha isn't just a thought leader, she's a revolutionary force who has dedicated her life to dismantling systems of oppression while creating pathways for authentic Black leadership to flourish. Her insights don't just challenge conventional thinking, they shatter it. And I'm profoundly honored to share them with you today. What struck me most during my conversation with Margretha was a revelation so powerful it changed how I view the entire landscape of diversity and inclusion work. We've been getting it wrong, fundamentally, devastatingly wrong. For decades, we've been obsessed with numbers. How many Black professionals can we hire? What percentage of our leadership team is diverse? These metrics matter, of course. But as Margretha powerfully articulated, true empowerment for Black professionals extends far beyond simply increasing representation or hitting diversity targets. The real revolution, she explained, lies in transforming workplace cultures and dismantling deep, often invisible systemic barriers. It's not just about getting Black professionals into the room. It's about empowering them to transform the room itself. This insight changes everything. It moves us from performative inclusion, the kind that makes for good press releases but changes nothing substantial, to creating cultures where Black excellence isn't just present but fully celebrated and expected, where Black professionals can bring their whole authentic selves to work without the exhausting burden of code switching or diminishing their brilliance to make others comfortable. During our conversation, Margretha emphasized three key insights that I believe can transform how we approach equity in professional spaces. These aren't just theoretical concepts, they're practical frameworks backed by compelling real world evidence that demonstrates their power. The first insight: empowerment is more than numbers. For too long, we've conflated representation with equity. We celebrate when organizations hire more Black professionals, but then fail to address the systems that prevent them from thriving. Achieving true equity isn't just about representation, it's about changing systems so that Black professionals can succeed authentically without sacrificing their identity or well being. Consider the work of Trinine Davis, a revolutionary force in reshaping how organizations approach Black excellence. Davis observed a troubling pattern. Even as more Black professionals entered corporate spaces, they continued facing racism, with studies showing 60% still reporting experiences of discrimination. They hit invisible ceilings due to systemic barriers that remained firmly in place despite diversity initiatives. Rather than accepting this reality, Davis took action. She advocated for authentic leadership development programs tailored specifically for Black talent. She promoted collective advocacy within organizations, creating spaces where Black professionals could support each other while pushing for systemic change. And perhaps most importantly, she pushed leaders toward intentional anti racism efforts that went beyond diversity training to address the root causes of inequity. The results were transformative. Her work led not only to better retention rates among Black employees, but also fostered environments where mental health was prioritized alongside career advancement. After witnessing countless talented individuals leave companies feeling hollow due to lack of support or recognition, Davis committed herself full time to driving change across industries. Today, her frameworks are used by Fortune 500 companies for inclusive leadership training, setting new standards across sectors regarding what true inclusion looks like. moving beyond tokenism toward genuine transformation. This brings us to Margretha's second key insight: authenticity is power. When Black professionals feel they must hide parts of themselves to succeed, everyone loses. The organization loses the innovative thinking that comes from diverse perspectives, and the individual loses the sense of wholeness that fuels creativity, resilience, and joy. Embracing your whole self and sharing your story builds resilience and community, which are essential for lasting change in both personal careers and organizational cultures. This truth is powerfully illustrated through the story of Letitia Clark and the Pink Parachute Diaries podcast. Clark founded Pink Parachute Diaries after seeing talented Black women lose jobs while less qualified colleagues advanced, a pattern she refused to accept silently. She observed Black women being handed pink slips while watching others receive golden parachutes. Their struggles went unspoken out of fear. They'd reinforce stereotypes if voiced publicly. In response, Clark created a space dedicated specifically for authentic storytelling around these experiences, documenting journeys of resilience so no one would feel isolated in their struggle. The podcast became an influential platform fostering connection, validation, healing, and hope for underrepresented voices nationwide. Clark noticed vibrant employees becoming hollow shells under toxic conditions. Her refusal to remain silent sparked a movement amplifying stories otherwise erased from mainstream narratives. Today, Pink Parachute Diaries has grown into an award winning media platform spotlighting hundreds of stories each year, shifting industry conversations around diversity away from compliance checklists toward holistic well being and belonging. As Maya Angelou wisely said, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. When Black professionals can share their authentic experiences without fear of retribution, they reclaim their power. And when organizations create space for these stories, they begin the essential work of transformation. This leads us to Margretha's third and perhaps most revolutionary insight: healing is foundational. Redefining success requires intentional healing. Addressing generational trauma isn't separate from professional achievement, it's at its very core. This insight challenges the persistent narrative that success requires compartmentalizing pain or trauma, particularly for Black professionals navigating spaces not designed with them in mind. Jacqueline Mitchell's Let's Get This Glow Up initiative exemplifies this principle in action. Mitchell launched this program reimagining professional development through intentional healing practices tailored specifically for Black professionals. She recognized that prevailing narratives demanded constant sacrifice, be twice as good, no, at great personal cost, including compartmentalizing trauma while performing at top levels in unsupportive environments. Mitchell's approach was revolutionary. She integrated healing modalities such as group therapy sessions with traditional career coaching. Asserting wholeness was not separate from excellence, but its foundation. Participants reported improved job satisfaction, and many achieved promotions without sacrificing mental health or authenticity along the way. After years navigating exclusionary workplaces herself and seeing peers burn out, Mitchell combined her expertise in psychology with business acumen to launch her own consultancy focused on holistic success strategies. Her initiative has been adopted by several major companies seeking sustainable ways forward on DEI goals, helping shift industry mindsets nationwide, from valuing output alone toward prioritizing wellness as an integral part of the achievement journey. As Audre Lorde powerfully stated, caring for myself is not self indulgence, it is self preservation. And that is an act of political warfare. For Black professionals, prioritizing healing isn't just personal, it's revolutionary. These three insights from my conversation with Margretha Pinkney, that empowerment is more than numbers. Authenticity is power, and healing is foundational, offer a roadmap for genuine transformation. They challenge us to move beyond superficial approaches to diversity and inclusion toward creating spaces where Black excellence can truly flourish. But transformation requires action. It requires commitment from individuals and organizations alike. It requires courage to challenge systems that may have benefited some while harming others. And it requires a willingness to reimagine what success looks like, not just for Black professionals, but for all of us. The affirmation that guides this work is powerful. I'm not just in the room, I'm transforming it. This isn't about fitting into existing structures, it's about creating new ones that honor the fullness of human potential. As we come to the close of our time together, I want to leave you with this truth. The work of transforming spaces for Black excellence isn't optional, it's essential for our collective future. Every time a Black professional is forced to shrink themselves to fit into a toxic culture, we all lose. We lose their brilliance, their innovation, their unique perspective. We lose the future they could have helped create. So I challenge you today. How will you use your influence, not just your presence, to transform the rooms where decisions are made? What system will you question? What policy will you change? Whose voice will you amplify? This isn't just about making workplaces more comfortable. This is about justice. This is about liberation. This is about creating a world where everyone can bring their full humanity to everything they do. The revolution won't be found in diversity statistics or inclusion statements. It will be found in transformed cultures, in healed hearts, in authentic voices speaking truth to power. It will be found in you and me, refusing to accept the status quo, demanding something better, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. So go forth and transform, not just occupy every room you enter. The future is waiting and it needs your voice, your courage, and your unwavering commitment to excellence that doesn't require sacrifice of self. Thank you.